Hello, my name's Sue Hudd. This is my psychic predictions for 2020 March. Now, I hope you've managed to get through February because February was a really mentally and emotionally challenging time for everybody, no matter where you live in the world. There were consequences. And this is how March is actually going to begin. It's going to be consequences of your actions that you took during the March time. So particularly, I told you last month about the lies, the deceits, what people would say to you, what governments would say, what they would predict, all sorts of things here that they sort of tried to build you up or try to encourage you to take risks, to do things with property, believe in them, know that they're looking after you. But during the early part of March, you will then start trying to figure out whether it was true what was actually being said to you, or have you been caught in a trap. Now, I also said to you the most interesting thing that's going to be happening during the March time was going to be the car industry. And the car industry is going to be all over the place. Now, I know myself, even through listening to small bits of information that are being put around on the news and the radio and that the car industry is already going through this. But this is going to be a massive impact. There's going to be companies that fold. It's not just to do with not being able to get the parts and that people are going to be really disheartened. But as you see, the way that our transport and the way that we're going in the future is going to be completely different. But it seems to be the new technology is out of most people's reach. So it's sort of making dates and that seem like it's going to be a long way off. So this is where there's going to be a bit more of a union, people getting together here and figuring out how to invest in a vehicle, invest in even a street, all investing in one vehicle so that everybody can get around or use it or share it. There's going to be a lot about sharing motoring through the month of March. But this is where tax increases and anything here that's associated with vehicles, they're going to be talking about over the next 12 months how much is going to increase to try to force you into getting a car or getting one early. So I would say, up to you, of course, don't buy a car. Try to put it off as much as you can. If you are looking at buying a new vehicle, then I would wait until the autumn time or October, sort of anywhere from September to October time. That's when you'll get some really good deals because, as I said, the industry is going to be folding, it's going to be changing, but that's because new technology is going to be taking over. So they'll put it down to all the changes that are happening, but it's actually not. It is to do with robots being able to do the job more efficient. And so it is going to be looking like now that a lot more people will need somebody to fight for them. So one of my predictions is during the month of March is unions and people that would normally fight for you. There will be lots of things here to do with small courts or injustices, small things here that are sort of being able to speak for the normal person. So all of those are going to pop up. They are going to be government backed here, which seems unusual because it does seem to be the governments over the past that have prevented ordinary people having a voice. So you're going to get a little bit of a teaser here and saying, well, who's fighting for you? And let's get on board. So more people are going to be joining committees, unions, groups, spiritual groups, all sorts of sort of getting together here so that it becomes one voice. So any suings or anything to do with court battles, it'll be one person doing it for the mass. So this will take on an interesting twist with the way we get sort of justice. So the car industry is a no-no. Big redundancies across the world, not just in the UK, it will be across the world. So that's going to make things here interesting. Powers, small companies, small powers, rising during the month of March. But then we've got here the biggest issues of all, because March and April are all about mind games. So it's all to do with mental health. It's all to do with why people are homeless, why they're on the streets. And so everybody will be looking at the poverty sectors of their country, how they can either sweep them under the carpet or how they can do something about it. So again, lots of talk about different organisations to do with social services, to do with hospitals, to prevent the queues of hospitals getting longer. It is making it a separate part. So mental health issues will be put to one side as a different organisation to help out with hospital figures and how they can invest or invest more. It's just because massive amount of anxiety has been building up for many years now, and this has not made things easy for everybody to communicate. As I always say, the prime example, look at the youngsters today. They'll walk along side by side, texting one another. My daughter's done it herself. She's been in the back of the car with her friend, and I keep saying, you two not wanting to talk? You're very quiet. And they go, oh yeah, we're chatting like anything, and they're just doing it on their gadgets. But this also is a month where gadgets and technology, and this is February, March, and April, are all going to be the same, where technology is going to go on a real roller coaster ride. Watch again for big companies having difficulties here with their finances and where they're able to get the money from to invest in new technology. Because for this very small little window, people are moving away from technology. Now, this is actually surprising me as well, because it seems like we will be heading to Greece and Italy and places like that to learn about technology. Now, one of the questions I've always asked here is, if there's so many things here that are going on and we're so intelligent and it's very easy for everybody to hack our systems, then why is it that we don't get those people to work for us to prevent other people from doing it? It just seems to me, and remember, I have no knowledge of technology, it just seems an obvious thing. But that's actually what's going to happen during the month of March. Governments, and particularly the UK and America, will be investing in people that know the ins and outs of technology, that know a little bit more. And that's going to make the whole thing here become interesting. Now, the thing that pleases me most of all about technology is the spotlight is going to be on it. So big companies are going to have to pay taxes because all our tax systems are going to be changing as well. So we're going to go through a really complicated time here. We're not going to know what we need to owe, whether we're going to be better off. There's going to be so many changes that all go on at exactly the same time that we're going to think the world is even crazier than what it's been like for such a long time. So with this, yes, you will end up being able to earn more money, but big companies will be definitely taxed no matter where they go, no matter where they hide. If they want their technology to come into any country, then it's not where they are just going to be able to gain. But it's also going to come in the arts as well. It's not going to be so easy to move around paintings or precious gems and that, because there's going to be a lot more taxes on things that make us feel good, places that we love to go and see. So museums and sacred places will have to find different ways to bring in their own resources. So this also makes the things that are most pleasurable in life are going to have the eye watching all over them. So this is going to go through some great things. Each town and place of a certain size, so anything that's around 20,000 population, there will be now new rules and regulations about having and providing a space here for not just travellers to come and stay on, but homeless people. So they will be putting up small little huts, overnight places, overnight accommodation, so that they're not just around doorways. Now, that is trying to clean up the streets and trying to make the towns and make them look more profitable. But it's also making sure that there's less eyesores. But with this as well, it's not going to be where you can stay every day. So it's not going to be like, it is going to be something that you have to go out, you have to earn, you have to contribute, you have to do something. But it is giving you like little huts, little sheds, that type of thing. They're huts, they're small houses. That they will be able to build up, put up, but made of wood, made of disposable commodities. So it's going to be what we recycle. So the recycling area are going to bring in the interest, because they're going to be able to bring in and make in these little huts, these little things. So we're going to be using much more of our assets. And so everything now that's going to do us good, help us out with our health, it's all the doors that are going to be open. And so March is going to feel like pretty much like a chaotic time. And that then brings in craziness around love, relationships. So you will hear of split ups. You will hear of quite elderly people that are associated to celebrations, and that will now decide to pass on and move on. You will find leaders of different countries don't have the same control that they would have had before. The spotlight is definitely going to be on those that make the rules and the powers. So you will find, with health issues and power being the most important thing, you do have to watch out for leaders and that getting illnesses and sudden things and seeing sudden shakings, sudden things. So watch for Germany, watch for America. Definitely watch for the Middle East, because this still is associated, and I associate the Middle East with still the motoring industry, because it's to do with oil, it's to do with the fuel and that we need. And so I see fires and see things here sort of igniting itself in, around the Middle East. And this is then going to make power struggles, and it could be associated with power struggles within their own country rather than it being outside. So it's not going to be about invading. This also is a knife month and a gun month. So be very wary of people that are very stressy. Remember, it comes in with stresses, mental health issues, and then wanting to lash out. So anything around the middle of the month is about lashing out. So keep your eye out, be very vigilant and very aware if somebody's acting on tubes and on planes in particular. I can't keep getting out of my energy thinking about submarines and it could be a missile, it could be a submarine. It seems to be that shape, and that shape that's under the sea. So I think that there's going to be a plane or something that is discovered under the sea that we're going to start bringing up. And is this associated with a missile? Was it brought down? And actually start trying to piece together and put together. Now, there is going to be government stuff that are talking about this, and whose interest is it in to let people know? Is it going to fire the fuel? Are we going to get all agitated and frustrated thinking, how did we let them get away with this? But remember, we're still in this cycle of misinformation of what we've been told, and we cannot now go on suggestions, hearsay, maybes. It has to be about facts. So it's the facts that are going to keep us safe during the month of March, and not here just somebody wanting to have the first story, the best story, any story. Now, this is a time that we have to start looking after our fellow man. We have to start pulling together. I told you right back in January that this year was very much about that, needing somebody else, sharing problems and sharing issues. And so we will begin to talk, and this month will encourage us to talk and share. So be strong when it comes to fighting your own battles to do with medical issues. Make sure that you share your love and share your feelings, whether you share it with pets. There will be one of the worst, and I'm sorry to say that it seems to be associated with India, that atrocities to do with animal and animal cruelty and what goes on. There also is a lot of infections and chemicals associated with chickens and doing things here with meat. So you've got the arts and the beautiful stuff. You've got nature having a rough time. You've got here the winds, the rains, the storms, the heats and that are still very feisty. So I don't think the dramas that we've had with the weather are over yet. We're still going to have to continue on putting up with extreme weathers and the land taking itself back, filling holes, filling the diggings, mucking up things that are still associated with frackings. And it will be looking at other countries that are trying to invest or get money or get out of near bankruptcy that will even start doing fracking and or some kind of digging and looking for natural resources under the ground. But the best thing about this whole month is when the healing side of life, the gentle side, and bringing it on board to prevent people from actually going to the hospitals, the doctors. So the alternative side will be looked at with a lot of rules and regulations, but it will win through by just being the same thing, the thing here that keeps people calm. Try to keep calm as best as you can. It is still not the best month to use confrontation, and that's why I said it has to be down to one voice. So if we do one voice, we will be pretty much here okay. Great subsidies coming in to help out with the land. So farming communities, natural environments, people that plant trees, all of that will start a program. A lot of great charities, but a lot of guidance here through people trying to jump on the bandwagon. So whether it's a politician or a friend, not everybody has your best interests. So that is something you'll have to look for. A big robbery and a second follow-up to a robbery to do with the fashion industry, and it will be a sabotage of a show that come in towards the latter end of March. So then again, I would look at those that are associated with the same industry rather than looking at other people and thinking that it's just going to be about crazy people wanting to blow up or cause disorder. Most of the people that will affect you in your life will be the people that are most closest to you, the people that you're meant to trust. So as I've said before, who's your friend? Who is the person that you can rely on? And that's what you need to be watching. April time is going to be really interesting. That's all, and 90% of it across the world is going to be about pioneering and conquering health issues. So as I've said before to you back in January, there are going to be many different cures for many ailments and that's going to come in with general vaccination. This will be the biggest year almost in history that there's going to be an injection for something. So good luck if you like injections, and good luck if that's your thing, that's something you want to have done. But everything now from March onwards is about prevention and the action that starts all this. So everybody needing scans, everybody having to take out extra health care, just in case they get different mental health issues. It's about preparing and having something here set up in the future. And it will be all given to you across the world like it's an option. So everything now is about an option for you. You don't have to have it, but if you don't have it and then you get those health issues, you're going to be way put at the bottom of the list and try to work yourself up. And even then, you're not going to have enough finances to have proper care. So everything is going to be about how you can insure or do things here with your insurance. But it also can mean, because there have been so many demands on insurances, the financial system is going to go through its first rumble, its first crash, its first mini crash this year. So on one hand, we've got new finances coming in, new coins, new notes, new money. We've then got the euro going down. We've got financial currencies that sort of, one country has this effect, it then has a knock-on effect. So we've got this sort of domino effect when it comes to finances, enough to get everybody's hackles up a little bit. Ooh, I have to be careful about what I'm spending. So you will find when it comes to April, you won't want to spend so much. I don't want to try to go too much into April because it's such an intense month, March anyway. But no money is safe during this time. Insurance companies will go down, will go under. Banks will go down, they will go under. They will start merging. It's like, who's not merging when it comes to finances? The financial industry would have had a lot of strain on it recently. But I say, if you don't make the mess, you don't have nothing to clear up. It's time now to look after the people when it comes to finances. We have got here a worse scenario during the month of June when it comes to finances. So just be a little bit wary where you put your money. Invest it in new businesses, new opportunities, fresh things here that will increase your town, local things here that you can keep an eye on. Those are the things here that are really going to make sense to us, because it will help us to build our communities. Okay, I think that's enough for you. We have got a love vein going up through the energy, so it's not all bad. It's not all frustrated. We will have closeness and new beginnings and great relationships. So my name's Sue Hudd. I am a psychic, clairvoyant and medium. And if you've enjoyed some of these predictions, please like and share them. Thank you ever so much. And I look forward to speaking to you for the April predictions. Have a lovely time. Bye.